I know God.
I love me some Jesus.
You're doing too much.
That's crazy. That's on the next episode.
It's the moon reading.
I rock with you, Yaya.
It's all love.
They better listen to this advice. We good.
You crazy girl.
This is what this show is about, all right? We
With
keep
the
it real.
and real talk, the God in God talk.
And that's a wrap. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, and you're listening to Real Talk on God Talk, a podcast for people who skip church for brunch on Sundays. What's good, Yaya? It is our final episode of the season.
Woo. Final episode, lucky number 13, y'all.
Yes, 13 episodes, one whole season. Amazing.
Right.
So many connections, amazing guests. It's been great.
It has been great. This has been a whirlwind.
Absolutely.
Like just finishing up seminary,
Yep.
starting Real Talk on God Talk with Truth. This
Yeah.
has been great. And we got some stuff cooking for y'all.
Yeah, you know, we always thinking ahead.
Yeah, thinking ahead for season 2. We do have some good stuff coming. Like this season was deep. Next season we're going even deeper.
Yeah.
Getting a little more controversial.
Yeah.
Nah, not controversial. Just talking about the
more-
real issues.
Yeah, more food for thought, you know. I think we made that really clear when we first started Real Talk and God Talk. Like, we're not trying to give answers. We're just trying to ask the questions and, you know, have the conversation with us. And so, hopefully, y'all love Real Talk on God Talk, and y'all will tell a friend to join us on season 2. Tell them to go back.
Right.
Listen to all of season 1.
Season 1, we found our swag. You know, we
Exactly.
found our dynamic, what we're trying to do here.
Exactly.
And season 2 is only going up from there. So
Yeah, so
keep
I'm looking forward
listening,
to
y'all.
it. Exactly. Yeah, so what's up, Yaya? How you feeling?
how am I feeling? I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm neither here nor there.
Good for you.
It's like I'm just experiencing things coming at me. Graduation coming up, okay, cool. Gotta move, okay, cool.
feel you.
Gotta find a job, okay, cool.
Feel you.
Anything else you want to just pile on, just
Yeah, a
keep
few
on
papers
piling
due,
it on. Right.
alright,
Okay,
yeah,
cool, whatever.
yeah.
You can tell me anything right now, and I'm just with the shits. Like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I feel you. I think I'm full senioritis mode, like, for a few months now. And so, like, it's kicking in, like, graduation and excited and I think how you're supposed to feel at this stage, right? Where, like, you're excited and unsure and nervous and uncertain and all this and the third, but I choose to be happy. I am happy.
I hear that. I choose to be happy.
I choose to be happy
Okay.
because you know what? We got through it, and I am very aware that even being in like higher education and being able to get my master's is a privilege. And so I'm be strolling across that stage, man.
Oh,
and I'll be super happy. Like I'm just be super happy like walking across that stage for like being able to have like my family there to like see that, especially like my parents who have worked so hard, you know, and making sure like their kids had even more than they did. I'm excited.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So
Okay, so we're talking about graduation so much, and you know
Yeah.
that's the most obvious ending
Yep.
that is coming both of our ways. But there's a lot of other things kind of ending at this time of the year as well. You know, for those of you on a leased apartment, that lease will be
That
up
lease
soon.
will be up soon, and you have to get
Right,
out.
you gotta get out. I'm sure quite a few of you should be ending some of your relationships.
Because the summer's coming and you know how that
Right,
goes.
cuffing season is done.
Exactly.
Is done.
It's done. It's done. You don't need that warm body no more.
Right. So, yeah. So all that is to say, you know, all these endings in the atmosphere, it got me thinking, like, you gotta approach endings intentionally.
Absolutely.
If you're not like intentional with your endings, whatever this new beginning is leading to,
Yeah.
it could be a little janky. And so my question for you this week, Truth, is how are you approaching the endings in your life? Is there like a particular ending that is meaningful to you right now, or like just in general, whatever?
I am actually ending one of my jobs that I have as like a chapel minister. And because that experience for me has been so like fantastic, it's just been great. I think the best way for me to end it is like celebrating it. And so I think for me, endings, like when it's stuff like this, like that ending, yeah, I just want to celebrate it because I had the opportunity to learn so much, learn from many people, and even when it was hard, to still know that I had a team behind me that was like pushing and rooting. And then when it was my turn to push and root, like I was doing the same. And so there's no other way for me to end that but to celebrate it and to flip that page. And I know like some people were like, because like school is ending, your friends stuff like that. Listen, we in
F them
2019,
friends.
okay?
F them
You know what
friends,
else I'm
deuces.
ending? I'm ending dealing with y'all, okay?
Right.
You know what I mean? And listen, it's 2019. You got my number, call me. You know what I mean? We could FaceTime, we could hook up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll go
But
out
you're
to
done
eat.
with this.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's not that. I'm cool with it. I think I did everything I came here to do for seminary, and I'm ready. I'm ready for that next step. I'm cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, to know that you did what you were supposed to come here and do. I love that because I feel like I don't have any regrets about, man, I should have done this. I should have done that. No, I'm good. Blessed for the connections that I made. Blessed to even be able to say that while in seminary, we got a podcast off the ground, and to see its growth, I can't ask for nothing more. What about you?
Let's see, endings. I have so much ending right now. Let's get on the list. So I'm in chaplaincy right now. I'm like in a chaplaincy training type program.
Feel you.
Every Tuesday I am at it's like a group training kind of
Yeah.
where we all talk about our experiences and our internships together.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a group of like about, let's call it 5 to 7 women, and we're all women,
Oh, wow.
racially diverse.
Okay.
Diverse in terms of age, socioeconomic class, religious background.
Yeah.
We all come and we sit in a circle and we talk about our interpersonal dynamics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it gets awkward.
I'm sure.
And so every Tuesday for the last last semester,
Yeah.
15 weeks?
I think
How
so,
long the
yeah.
semester is? Yeah, for the past 15 weeks, we have had to talk about our feelings. And how we feel about what's happening in our lives, how other people in the group have made us feel. When they say something that we don't like, we have to call it out.
Oh, man.
It gets
yeah,
intense.
of course, yeah.
But as I come to the end of this period, I'm realizing how much I'm gonna miss it. I have never been in a space being at school, we talk about creating these intentional spaces, these quote unquote safe spaces.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a place in an academics type setting where I've actually felt safe the way I felt there.
Wow.
Like, it's a place where I can kind of bring anything to the table, any part of myself, my mental health, my physical health, my reality as a Black woman in America walking the streets.
Yeah.
Dealing with the people I'm talking to right now
Yeah.
and speak candidly about it. That space makes room for anything that any of us have to bring to the table. And it's a space of all women, racially diverse. It's just, I've never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm really going to miss it as it comes to an end.
Wow.
And so I think for me, when I'm thinking about new beginnings, it's I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for ways to recreate that openness and that acceptance and that truthfulness.
Yeah.
In new spaces that I step into, even spaces that aren't ordained for that. And so it's when I walk into the bank and the bank teller says something that's a little off to one of the patrons, do I have the courage to tell the truth and say, when you said that, it made me feel XYZ.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was inappropriate at the time. To not take it further, to not get angry, but to just kind of maintain the curiosity and make room for continued connection with people.
Right.
And it's if I can take that into other spaces, then I'm good money.
Yeah.
But for right now, I'm really sad that it's ending.
Yeah, I mean, those spaces are hard to find, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Not even, right. Not even honestly, you love your friends to death, but your friends know a certain side of you, have expectations of you, family even more so.
Oh,
friends.
yeah, of course.
And so it's to find a place where I can where the people don't really know me and I can
Yeah.
just bring what I have to the table, that's different and special. And yeah.
Absolutely. It forces you into that space of like being so real right away because like you ain't got time to like get to
Right.
know each other, you know?
And that's why we're here.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and it's really given me tools to kind of like just, as opposed to jumping towards anger when someone says something to me,
Yeah.
just maintain curiosity. And so I'm gonna
Mhm.
take that. That's my
I
ending.
like that.
Yeah.
Maintain curiosity. I digs it.
Okay, so moving on to the rundown. What do the people have to look forward to on this episode?
In God and the World, we'll be talking about the latest Yale research study in which scientists successfully revived cellular activity in the brain of a pig hours after its death, and what the story has to tell us about what it means to be truly alive.
Franken piggy, you say? After that weirdish story about pigs being raised from the dead, we'll get into even stranger territory. Get ready, y'all. Kanye West is starting a church, and the internet are losing its collective mind.
But I thought we canceled Kanye.
Well, we did. Kinda. And that's what we'll be talking about today. For the Real Talk question of the week, we're considering cancel culture and whether the phenomenon is a way for the public to demand accountability from its leaders, or if it's just another way for us to point the finger without retribution. It seems like every day the court of public opinion cancels a new celebrity for reasons ranging from thoughtlessness to bad behavior to downright bigotry. But whatever happened to judge not, lest you be judged? When we participate in cancel culture, how do we know if we're holding our community accountable or if we're just being plain old judgmental?
Next, Yaya will be taking you through Keeping Time and the Moon reading, followed by Community Pastoral Care, where we'll be responding to a listener who is conflicted about whether or not she's morally obligated to share her limited funds with panhandlers who ask on her daily commute.
Franken piggy, Franken piggy, Franken piggy. Scientists at Yale have brought the dead back to life and created a Franken piggy. It's like saying Franken piggy.
I mean, considering our whole thing is God talk, wouldn't it be Lazarus Piggy? But a boom.
Tee hee hee. You're so funny, Pastor Truth.
Sorry, my corny church jokes. That's besides the point, right? The point is that for God in the World, we'll be taking a look at the results of scientific research coming out of Yale University. According to Reuters, researchers succeeded in restoring basic cellular activity in pigs' brains hours after their deaths. The researchers hope that continued tests will one day lead to advances in treating ailments like human stroke and brain injuries. That's a plus, right?
Yeah.
So,
So this is a pretty big deal. It sounds like they're just a few steps away from doing the unthinkable, bringing the dead back to life. Now that would be a game changer.
that's a game changer. That's wild. But I mean, let's clarify, right? The researchers have been super intentional in terms of ethics, or at least that's what they claim. And they say they make every effort to ensure that they don't go into that ethical gray area of creating life. And so they were very specific in saying that restored brain activity is good and it's useful for making medical advances and treating diseases, but that's not the same as consciousness or life. So, big difference.
Right. So basically, scientists were able to take dead matter and restore brain activity, but not necessarily consciousness itself.
Gotcha.
So trickier concepts like consciousness and
Yeah.
life, those are officially still off the table as things that are man-made.
Yeah.
Only God is creating consciousness and life at this point.
Gotcha.
Not
yeah.
that the researchers said that, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly, right? And so while the scientific discovery of the story is like really interesting that they were able to even get like brain activity and like I'm assuming like brain waves of the pigs. I think the real value of the story is in the message it has to tell us about the importance of knowing the difference between life, like real conscious full life and just meaningless activity.
Truth is right. The distinction that scientists make between quote unquote life and brain activity is an important one. Every day we run around accepting meeting invites on our calendars, eating, shopping, and shitting, taking care of our families, bosses, and friends, and partying on the weekend if we can.
Mm-hmm.
But do these signs of activity truly indicate that you're living? Like hands out, hair in the wind, sun on your face, living?
No, not at all. So you may show enough brain activity to like go through the motions and stuff like that, but that's not real life, right? Real life is about making connections and growing in consciousness. And so this week, with God in the World, we wanted to offer you the opportunity to consider life more deeply, right? For one day, just try to not just go through your activities for the sake of just doing them. Don't go through the motions. Instead, enjoy it, explore, and be totally present no matter what you're doing. Try to do more than just be active or just busy, but actually make the choice of being consciously alive.
Yeah. It can be something as simple as when you stop for coffee on your morning commute, really take a look at the barista who's serving you. What color is their hair? Do they favor anyone you know?
Mm-hmm.
When you take your first sip, don't just mindlessly guzzle it down in search of caffeine.
Right.
Like, really enjoy the aroma.
Mm.
Just take it in.
Take it in, yeah.
Taste the bitter, taste the sweet.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, maybe do something kind. Bring in one for a coworker who might need it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do with your week, just know that life is more than mere activity. Real life, real true life, is about taking in the experience of it all. All right, y'all. So, per usual, it's story time. Okay, so I'm in my bed, minding my business, sleeping.
That's a good way to mind your business.
Right? Regular degla. And my phone starts going off. Like, not just one text. I'm talking about back to back text.
Blowing
text.
up.
Blowing up and blowing mine, right?
Mm.
And so my phone's going crazy and I'm like, okay, let me just see what's going on, right? And so I check it thinking that something big is either happening with my family, my friends, some news is out, whatever. I look down and of course, it's the girl chat, my little text group. And what news do I wake up to find? And I quote, "Get ready for the newest cult, y'all. Kanye West is starting a church." I had to chuckle. Like, these chicks are stupid.
Right.
However, there's something to that. Because should that be a real life sentence? Kanye West is starting a church.
When you felt like it wasn't fake news no more.
Right.
They wasn't joking.
Right. Not fake news.
Right.
So, I go check the internets, do my thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure by now many of you have seen the videos, right? Kanye West, aka Yeezus himself, is now hosting what he's termed as Sunday service. So, I'll say it's like a little conflation. So he was doing Sunday services at Coachella,
right,
when that was going on, but even before that, back from January, he's been doing these Sunday services where like he gets his group of like rich and famous friends, colleagues, whatever, and they do these like vaguely religious services, quote unquote.
Yeah, and like so it's either I believe at somewhere on his property or in like other places, and from what I've heard is like it's invite only.
Oh, so that's exclusive.
Exactly. So it's like invite only. And before they go in to wherever the place is, they have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So I don't know how for like the private ones, some of them got leaked, but for the most part they do sign like a non-disclosure agreement. And then obviously the one for Coachella was
public.
So
okay, right. So from what we've seen in the videos, it's kind of like Kanye doing his Kanye thing, but church style, right? So he's rapping, he's yelling, he's crying, he's got his mix of choir people, famous friends, family, we'll call them followers for lack of a better term. He's got his current aesthetic of like homeless chic going on. I don't know what you want to call it. Muted color palettes. Like he's got his full Kanye thing going.
They're all in pajamas. Just say it.
But
all
just
in pajamas.
add church to the mix.
Exactly.
Right?
That's it. Yeah.
DMX, I think, was
Yeah, he
there
was
one
there.
week praying and
Yeah.
carrying on. Chance the Rapper is on video one time,
Yeah.
like proclaiming Jesus Christ is Lord on a hill.
Yeah.
Like it's intense.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
it's a lot of imagery
Yeah.
and like it's a lot of things going on with
Yeah.
these Sunday services. It seems like in general the whole message is that Kanye has found salvation, redemption. I don't know, something.
something.
Right.
Something. You found something.
So of course, right? The blogs are eating it up.
Yeah.
Like the internet is eating it up. I'm seeing comments like my church never been that lit or oh shoot, looks like Kanye went back to his roots and caught the spirit.
Even people were like, if my church was like that, I would go more often. Man,
right.
so you wouldn't go.
Right, you
Listen.
wouldn't go to your church if it was burning on fire.
Exactly.
You had to like
bring the
water it
gasoline
down.
tank. Get out of here.
You'd be fine. Right, but anyway, it really got me thinking, isn't Kanye supposed to be canceled? Like, what happened?
Right?
And so, of course, I had to see what Truth had to say about the matter. And we thought it would be good to have a deeper conversation with you all in the Real Talk and God Talk community. First, about this whole Church of Kanye thing, because that's a whole beast in and of itself.
Yeah.
And then also about the phenomenon of cancel culture. Like, what is it? As well as the Real Talk question of the week. As spiritually aware people, when we participate in cancel culture, how do we know if we're holding our community accountable or if we're just being plain old judgmental? First, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Your boy Kanye West has a church or wants to have a church or does Sunday service or whatever he does. He's doing it. What do you think about it? Look, everybody's shaking their head and laughing. No words even coming out. Just
that's
mad.
all we can do is just shake
head
our head.
shaking and laughing. Right.
That's
okay.
It. I think Kanye West is probably one of the last people who should be having a church.
Right.
And that's just me being real. Like, so not to take anything away from what I think he's doing. So like from his Sunday service, because I think, like he said, music is very powerful. Kanye's faith has always been a part of his music. Like you remember he did like Jesus Walks, and then like he's always talking about God in one form or another in like throughout all his like
Jesus.
albums. Yeah,
like I am a God.
Yeah. And so what they were saying is like when they asked Kim about it, his wife, they were like, is it gonna be a sermon and blah blah blah, and she was like, no, there's no praying, no sermon, just music. And it's because Kanye knows the effects that music has, and he wants to be able to bring people to Jesus using music and using the arts.
I love your Kim Kardashian voice, by the way.
Man, I wish I would have seen me because I had the whole little
yeah, she had like
too.
a little Kim K swag going, but okay.
Right? So, all right. Here's the thing. For me, music is very powerful. I'm very well aware of that. All the research in the world will tell you that music is the one thing that involves the entire brain. So whenever you listen to music, play music, anything like that, your entire brain, right and left hemisphere, is literally working, right? There's very few things in the world that actually does that, and music is one of them, right?
Okay.
How we feel when music is played, whether it causes goosebumps, causes us emotion, makes us happy, makes us cry, chills, all of that. Like, that's just what music does. Sound, that's what that does. So I'm not going to take anything away from Kanye because I respect his music. And I think sonically, he is very creative. However, my issue with Kanye saying he wants to start a church is that it seems he is the end-all, be-all to that church. He is the worship. He is the sermon. And he is the church. That's where my issue lies. Where what is the doctrine? what what are people buying into essentially when they're going to this church? Like we just gathering to hear music, like, or like, if you're saying you're just gathering people for an experience, okay, listen, we all seen the videos. Okay, it looked like a cult. Call the thing a thing, man. It looked like a cult. I'm like, they all drank the Kool-Aid.
I mean, you say cult, I say dope ass concert where we all dress the same and maybe worship Kanye.
Cults.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so like, it was just interesting to me because I'm like, I don't know, this, when I heard of this, I was like, I was appalled. I was appalled.
Okay.
You know, because I was like, hey, you better stop playing with God's name. You know, and I'm like, his wife said that it is going to be a Christian church. So it's very explicit when you're saying,
Right.
like, this is not just any old church. This is a Christian church, and what they want is to bring people to Jesus.
Right.
That's
really specific,
That's real
especially when the culture of Christianity right now, like mainstream Christianity, is to not necessarily proclaim the name of Jesus, to be more,
Like,
palatable
right.
for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And so for Kim K and Kanye to straight up say Jesus Christ, like,
Yeah.
they're not being vague. I think that's relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, as these Sunday services have started as being just like, invite only, and now you want to open it up to like other people, right? Like, okay, I don't think it's necessarily bad to have services where it is just music. You could have that. Go ahead. I think music is very powerful, and music could be used to that because music is used to evoke emotion. My problem is just that where he is the center of attention. And then furthermore, is like, you selling merchandise with like Holy Spirit on it and this, that, and the third, and it's like $250. And this is not me saying exclusive like to Kanye. Any church who would do that, I'm looking at you funny, like, period. Like, that's just, it's the principle. Like, I don't think Kanye's in a position to be leading anyone based on his actions in the past. And I think in an article that I read, it was like, he knows what it's like to be like lost and like hurt, and who else better to help? Yeah, not necessarily hurt people. You know what I mean? And so it's like, no, I understand that this music, when you see it, it's beautiful what he's doing, and sonically it sounds amazing. And I think for him, that's his therapy. And that's cool. That don't mean we got to be invited to it. Like,
Right.
That's just, like,
keep that as a solo endeavor.
Exactly. Like, that's perfectly cool. That's you, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like unequivocally, truth is not with it.
Nope.
The Church of Kanye can go that way.
Exactly.
So, funny enough, when I first started hearing about it, I didn't feel too strongly about it. Like, I wasn't like, oh, hell no. Like, it was just kind of like, okay, Kanye been doing...
Yeah, he been doing wild stuff.
Like you said, from the very beginning of his discography, he has had a very theological, like, theme to his music.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's always talking about God, the devil, salvation, redemption, sin. Like, that has, like, been the nuts and bolts of his music the whole time.
Absolutely.
So that's not surprising to me. Like, Kanye clearly grew up in the black church.
Yeah.
Clearly that had, like, even if not an actual, like, belief in God or Jesus, hasn't been his foundation. Musically, sonically, cultural wise, aesthetically, the black church is clearly his foundation.
Absolutely.
Like, point blank period. And so, like, this isn't too surprising to me. And at first I was like, okay. He said that he wants to, like, open up or, like, lead people to Jesus through the arts.
Yeah.
I think that's cool,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think many people want to do that.
Right.
That don't mean he need to.
I think that where it started to be, like, a little iffy for me is when I actually started watching the videos. And so hearing about it is one thing.
Yeah, but when you watch it,
and I can only imagine experiencing it, right? And so it's like, it really looks like a cool concert to me. Like, I'm a former Kanye fan. I won't call myself a fan anymore. I'm more say, like, I respect his music now.
Yeah.
But, like, it looked like a cool concert. Like the music is on.
It's
Like when you watch
popping.
it, when you hear those snares hit, like it could
That
send chills
choir
through you.
is
The
amazing.
choir clearly is just skilled.
And that's what
He
music
knows
is
what
supposed
he's
to
doing,
do.
right?
Yeah.
And so I can tell that when you're there, it looks like it's possible to catch a spirit. I'm not gonna say the spirit, right? And
You
not
catching something.
right, not a spirit in like I'm not trying to make it like a negative way, like
Yeah,
an
no,
evil
no.
spirit or
Mhm.
something like that. I just mean like it's. I can tell that you can probably like feel the music and feel the presence,
the phenomena of emotion
right?
that's occurring. Yeah.
But like what Truth said, it for me it becomes a question of like every church or every person, every religious institution of some
Mhm.
sort has a theology.
Yeah, you buying into something.
Right. We in school for this right now.
Right.
And so whether it's explicit, meaning that they say, hey, these are my apologetics. I believe Jesus Christ is Lord.
Yeah.
I believe you must take communion. I believe, these things. Even if it's whether it's explicit or it's implicit, meaning these are the things we do, but we don't really name exactly what we believe. There is a theology behind it.
Right.
And so the question becomes, what is Kanye's like? So you're up there, you're worshiping God or Christ or whoever, but for me in the back of my mind, there's like a question of, okay, the trappings are nice.
Yeah.
Like the music is nice. The clothes are nice. The gathering people is nice.
Yeah.
The ritual is nice. All these things are nice. But behind that, what exactly are you saying, Kanye?
Yeah.
Like for me to tack on to you and your beliefs, I need to know exactly what you believe.
That's it. For me to wear those pajamas, I gotta know what I gotta know what I'm
Come
buying
on.
into.
You don't want to wear some $3,000
No, I'm
light
good.
blue jail looking pajamas? That's not what you want to wear?
As long as they're gonna let me be in the choir.
Right. And so like if I'm being like, so it's funny. Before we had this episode, I called my mom just to be like, oh, we're about to record, whatever. And she's like, oh, what's the topic this week? And so I'm like, oh, we're talking about Kanye. And she's like, I had to pray about it. And I'm like, why are you being mad dramatic, mommy? What are you praying about exactly? And she's like, right. I'm dead. Truth
Mama
is really
know
not with
exactly
this.
know what she praying about.
Right.
Shoot.
She's like, I don't really like Kanye, but I saw his new song and I love it. Like I'm rocking with it. And I can tell like he's in the studio with Kirk Franklin and it has like early 90s gospel vibe when gospel was like really hitting. And it's like, I like the music, but I don't like Kanye. And she's like dead serious.
I love that.
And like she really got me thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, I could walk alongside Kanye on his journey.
Yeah.
I can enjoy the music. If he says something that is profound and like touches me, I can even follow, what he's saying. But I, as an individual person, I'm not following Kanye anywhere. I am not following Kanye West to a damn place. First of all, he on one. Second of all, he's a complete a-hole.
Yeah.
Third of all, your whole lifestyle, it's like you're screaming Christianity, you're screaming a certain set of values.
Yeah.
But your whole lifestyle is saying
opposite.
something else. And for me, it's like I believe in the power of music. Everything Truth was saying about like the scientific and spiritual ways in which music affects us, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if y'all know, I know Truth is familiar about the Coltrane Church. There's a church of John Coltrane in San Francisco. So John Coltrane is one of my very favorite artists. He's a jazz musician. He wrote, composed, and performed A Love Supreme. It is one of the most spiritually ascendant pieces of music I've ever heard. Like when you listen to this, it's just like you want to just give thanks to God.
Yeah.
And people found what the music he made so touching, so life-giving and meaningful that after his death, they made him a patron saint.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say quote unquote patron saint, but they made him a patron saint of the Church of Coltrane. And at the Church of Coltrane, it's basically like 5-hour jam sessions where musicians come and they improvise and there's prayers and liturgy.
Yeah.
And so like it's
they have a structure.
Right. It's a church.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like throughout the church there's
this improv jam,
which seems like an amazing way to give thanks to connect with God.
Yeah.
But that's a little different than what I see Kanye doing.
Yeah.
And so like it's hard for me because like my cognitive brain like smart yaya that says, "Oh no, yes, you can bring people to God
Mhm.
through music. You don't need to take traditional routes."
Yeah.
Like, please, I believe that.
Yeah.
But when it's coming from Kanye, I just don't believe it.
I don't doubt that he believes in God, but I think for me, Kanye walks a very thin line between him believing in God and him believing he is the God. And for me, I think that line is so thin that whichever way he topples,
Is the way he's going that day.
yeah.
And if you follow him and he
yeah,
has a bunch of
you
followers,
and you
wherever
going
he goes,
100.
that's where you going.
Yeah.
Right.
And and I think that's where it's like so dangerous.
I think where I'm most wary
Mhm.
is probably not so much with Kanye himself or his followers or his effect on the youth or whatever. It's probably more like the Kardashian influence on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes down to it, Kanye is an artist, a musical and stylistic or whatever artist, married to an influencer who is a businesswoman in her own right, who is now saying, I'm going to move out of not any music, but like hip hop music, the secular of secular.
Right.
Like, not that hip hop is like not like the most secular music.
Yeah.
Like, there's all types of secular music, but you're moving from one realm to another, and it's like, are you doing this for real? Are you expanding your brand? Like, is this a Kanye spiritual endeavor, or is this promotion for your next album and your
promo.
Yeezy stuff?
Yeah.
Is this like this church
the
merch?
Yandi, right? The
Yandi, excuse me. That's his next album. This church merch that you talked about. Like, is this concert merchandise?
Yeah.
And if it is concert merchandise, how do you feel about putting Holy Spirit without any context on concert merchandise that you're selling? Like, it's like there's like all these questions I have about, like, kind of like, I guess, the Kardashian influence on this endeavor, or just maybe the business influence on this endeavor, that makes me think, like, even the fact that, like, did you know Kris Jenner has like a legit church?
Oh yeah.
Like, not like a special Kanye,
No.
I'm rapping and singing church. No, she got like a church. Like,
it's just not for me. That's all. And I'm gonna go that way.
Right. You go that way.
And I'm gonna go the other way.
Follow the Kanye spirit. I'm gonna follow the Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
Do your thing.
Do your thing. And I'm gonna show you love from here, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So, boom. We've gone over and over and over Kanye church. The verdict is apparently no. But let's get into this whole cancel culture question.
Yeah.
So the internet's is all like, Kanye's back. Kanye's back, But all in the midst of all of this publicity and stuff.
Yeah.
Where's this Kanye's canceled thing that was going on just a couple months ago?
For real.
Like,
okay, so let's be clear, right? For those of you that aren't up on the internet lingo, canceling is defined by Urban Dictionary as no longer morally, financially, and or digitally supporting people, usually celebs, events, workshops, films, TV shows, for doing things that may have been unacceptable or problematic. So that's what we mean when we say canceled.
Okay. My personal connotations of it is kind of like, the crowd says that something's unacceptable. Like, a word like unacceptable is really tricky.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
yeah.
Are you saying it's wrong? Are you saying it's unacceptable? Are you saying I personally think it's wrong? Or like, the people, quote unquote, think it's wrong? So
and that's
right.
That's the line, right? It's like, who is saying it's unacceptable?
In my view of canceling, it's like, the crowd says something is unacceptable, and then we don't support you anymore, meaning that we don't pay for your stuff. We don't. I think digital for me is like not supporting someone digitally.
Yeah.
For me is probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't click on your stuff. I don't give you clicks.
We're not following you.
Right. I'm not following you. It's over. It's done for you. You're shunned.
Shut down. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's exactly what it is. We not messing with you no more. Right. And like, if you have stuff going on, events, we not going.
Right.
Like, we not doing it. So yeah, I agree with you on that. And I think cancel culture in general has like its ups and downs, where it's been problematic, right? Because what the argument is that cancel culture is not good, because what we're not actually reaching the solution to holding people accountable for what they're doing. We're kind of just like shunning them and that's it. Right. And instead of holding them accountable to whatever their action is. Right. And so it's like everybody gets canceled nowadays, and then a couple months they'll be back and everybody takes you back and it's all good. You know what I mean? So like that's from what I've read is like the issue.
And I think, as with anything that happens nowadays, there's like 1,000,001 think pieces online about it. And so from what I've seen about cancel culture, another issue with it is that like no one really ends up getting canceled actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we like what's going on with Kanye. Exactly. We say 1 second you do something that people don't like and they're like, you're canceled. But you are still getting so much support.
Yeah.
It's not stopping your bag. It's not stopping your pockets. Not really, 2 seconds later, you're back on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's like...
Because, like, we end up talking so long about people who've been canceled as to why they're canceled that we keep talking about.
Right, that's free publicity.
Yeah, exactly. I get the reasoning behind this whole cancel culture thing, but I do agree to the fact that it doesn't hold the person accountable for what they're doing. I think the issue that I have with cancel culture is that it's come up to deal with things that people have done deep in their past. So it's like we couldn't be mad at them about it at that time, but we're collectively mad about it now. And so we're going to bring that back, and that's what it is. And so I think then we have where people take it to the extremes, where people say stuff on Twitter 6-10 years ago and it comes back. Yeah, we all say reckless stuff here and there, and it's like, well, where do we give people the room to grow and to know better, and to know better than to talk about this? Because if they didn't know any better, or if they just, for whatever,
right,
you're
young, you dumb, you don't
everybody
care
gotta
any
grow.
better.
Exactly. Then it's like 10 years later, you're going to hold somebody accountable for that. It's different if they're still doing that present day. But if you're going to dig it up to bring it 10 years later when they completely not doing that at all, I'm like, I think that's just stupid. Like, your homeowners need to get a life. Like, that's just it,
I think for me, truth is bringing up an important distinction that we really want to talk about this episode, like the difference between judgment and holding someone accountable. And so like when it comes to like canceling someone,
I just judged all those homeowners. I didn't realize that.
A little judgment, little judgy here and there.
I mean, if y'all know me, y'all know I judge. I'm sorry.
No, but like,
yeah.
Accountability to me implies community. Yeah. Where it's like we are in some type of relationship and you are responsible to me.
Yeah.
And because you're responsible to me, when you do something outside of your character, outside of what you said you were going to do, outside of your integrity, outside of our norms, outside of whatever, I then have to address that with you.
Yeah.
And so on one hand, it's like, quote unquote, cancel culture allows us to do that in a way that we didn't have power to do before.
Right.
Like, it's like, to be in community, like social network community is weird because it's like we know these celebrities, but we don't know them.
Right.
They're accountable to us, but they're not accountable to us.
They
so
talk to
like,
us?
Right.
But are they really talking to us?
No, seriously.
Yeah, it's so true.
And so it's like when you're in community with someone, it's like, I'm going to check you on your BS. Judgment, on the other hand, for me, creates a dynamic in which one person or one group of people is the judge and sits on high and gets to decide what's wrong, how that's adjudicated, how it's punished, when the punishment is too much, when it's, not enough. Yeah. And I think that online, everybody's a critic now. Everybody's an expert. Everybody wants to say their opinion. Yeah. This whole like canceling thing really tiptoes, not even tiptoes, for some people it's just straight up judgment. Yeah. Where it's like, especially what you said about like digging up old stuff, it's like, I am a firm believer that people need to be accountable to their words. Even if it's you admitting you said it.
Yeah, of course.
I was wrong. I shouldn't have said it and I wouldn't say it today. The end.
Yeah.
But you do have to be accountable.
Of course, yeah.
But I think the judgment comes in as to who gets held accountable and who doesn't. How harsh is the public shunning of one person versus another? Yeah. Like, I'm always waving my gender flag around, but it's so sexist how this canceling stuff works. Yeah, someone like Chrisette Michele, right?
Oh,
R&B
yeah.
singer. She sings for Trump one time, literally a single performance, and her whole career is done. She gets
Yeah,
lambasted
that's it.
online. Yet, someone like Kanye himself
Wear the hat.
wears MAGA, I love Trump, I'm meeting with Trump,
Mhm.
doing this. Please, Trump himself is president. So let's not even go there.
Right.
If we want to talk about canceling, we could start with that fool.
Right.
But, there's all these men that
Yeah.
get the benefit and get the redemption and get welcomed back into the fold.
Mhm.
But there's just so many examples of women that I see that don't get extended the
Every
same
day.
mercy. And even the fact that, like, who am I to give someone mercy?
Right.
Like, and so I'm really like, I can see how canceling can hold people accountable.
Yeah.
But I just feel like as an individual person, I'm really hesitant
Yeah.
to cancel anybody.
I agree.
Like, I'm not one for canceling.
No, me neither. I'm like, listen, I agree with what you said. Yeah, where hold people accountable to what they said, right? Because if somebody's showing you receipts,
Right.
I think what hit me for what you just said was this is for people that we really don't know. One, you're in like these social communities for people you really don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a community where we can say, yo, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this problem. You know, how like we would do in like outside of like this internet, right? Where if there is an issue, we can check the person, we can talk about a solution. But I feel like we've taken the concept of what like some church doctrines do, of like you can't associate with these people, and have taken it in like a social media viral level.
Oh, I never thought about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just hit me of like, yeah, like we're not gonna associate with that person. It's like another form.
Like, you're excommunicated.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, you're excommunicated. Like that's like how as humans, the fact that we can still have the ability to do this, like we have learned nothing from having all this advancement in technology. Where it's like we are still finding a way to excommunicate someone. That's ridiculous. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
We should be. Right.
Damn it. You know what I mean? Because it's like that doesn't hold someone accountable. You're just putting them over to the side because you don't want to deal with them. You know what I mean? And granted, it's not our job to deal with these celebrities and all the madness that they do, right? But I think we do have to hold people accountable, right? To the same
standard.
To the same standard, yeah, to the same standard. Hold people accountable because I agree. We ain't heard from Chrisette Michele.
Yeah, that's so
ever
messed
since that
up.
day. It's messed up. But we keep hearing from all these raggedy
Other voices, right?
That it's like for what? Like for what? We don't cancel the same. That shows the flaw in cancel culture because it's like whomever is deciding, that is like the judge, jury, and executioner. It's just like real justice in real life. Like,
Right.
that's
Like,
just
where's the justice?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so corny. Where's the justice? But no, where is the justice?
Yeah, it's we are literally doing the same thing we do on an everyday level. Like it's not hurting nobody's pockets
Right.
because there's a lot of stuff that we could cancel out.
And actually, to speak to that point, I think it's important also, at least for me, when I think of canceling, because I've been thinking like, okay, I'm talking all this smack about, oh, I don't cancel, I don't want to be judgmental, whatever. But who have I canceled? Like, what have I canceled? And so I can truly only think of one actual person that I canceled. That's R. Kelly. I don't care.
Oh,
and I canceled R. Kelly since
high school,
2000
exactly.
and like maybe like 4 or 5. Like he's been done. Like you said, the music draws you in. He don't use the moniker Pied Piper for nothing.
No.
Like there's like the pedophile-ish type of things about that.
Yeah,
but
of
then
course.
there's like, if you think about the Pied Piper, literally, it's using music to draw people against their will and to follow this person. And so I really know people, like I personally know people that love R. Kelly.
Of
and
course.
I don't say they love him, but they just love his
The
music.
music,
It's been the
of
soundtrack
course.
to their lives and they've, all these things. I don't personally excuse that, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But that music component
it's
is
real. It's so real.
so cool, right?
Yeah.
Canceled R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I haven't canceled other people, but I have canceled corporations.
Oh yeah, I agree with
And
that.
so, like, it actually doesn't take me much to cancel a corporation. If I get bad customer service 2 times in a row,
Oh yeah, no,
you're canceled.
You're wrapped.
You're canceled.
And I'm writing a Google review.
I'll be
on it.
When
okay?
you see Yelp, see my face because I'll be on it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The thing about cancel culture that I think is good is when it comes not for people per se, because I feel like it's very, like you said, it's dehumanizing.
Of
It's
course, yeah.
you to just cancel a person and excommunicate them. That doesn't allow us to be in community, to work to our fullest potential, to
Yeah.
like find a way for us all to express ourselves within community.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like corporations, particularly,
Yeah.
I'm for canceling. Like,
Yeah,
I think there's
absolutely.
very few ways that as individual citizens, we have any power against corporations.
Yeah.
And canceling, boycotting, turning your back on, not
Yeah.
participating in what these corporations do and have done is one way. Like, I don't even
Absolutely.
watch the NFL. Like, I've never been a football person, but when Kaepernick canceled the NFL,
Oh, I
I
canceled
cancel the
it.
NFL
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I refuse to
Like,
because you're absolutely right. Like yeah, y'all know, man. I could talk reckless or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I love being in community because I know its importance, right? And because I know what it's like also to be an outsider within a community, I
mhm.
value community even more. And so even when people mess up, I try to do my best to be able to how can we fix it? Because I don't think excommunication is the actual solution.
Mhm.
But I think with these corporations, we know already like our value and like the monetary value that we bring to like these businesses and all the money we bring in. And so like if we really took our energy to like boycott these places and like not spend money, like they would get the message. You know what I mean? But it's like we don't. Not on like a major like if we did that in the same way we cancel these celebs, I think then we could really make a change.
Mm. Say that.
I say this all the time about like being eco, right? If we want to like stop using plastic bags, it's simple. Like they could just stop making them. It's really that it really is that simple, right? But they don't want to because they're profiting off of it, right? But it's like
If we
if we
don't
make enough noise, you know what
make
I
a
mean?
demand for it, then
Exactly.
there will
Then there won't
be
be any.
right
Leave
no
them there
supply
with
for it.
leave them
Right.
there with all their plastic bags. See what they're gonna do. They will stop making it because they won't be making
Shoot,
money
they'll
off of
turn
it.
around and make some type of eco-friendly
To sell it to you.
and call it recycled, then up the price on it and sell it
Exactly.
right back to you, and then you can
Exactly.
buy it.
Exactly.
Right.
It's you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we really do hold a lot more power than we think we do. And it's like if we could take this quote unquote cancel culture and put it towards some other things instead of just individual celeb lives, like I think that is like a better way to like push that.
So, we've been talking a lot about judgment, accountability, how do we know the difference? And one way for me, particularly, that I think about it is accountability keeps you in community,
Mm-hmm.
judgment excludes you from community.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do is kind of leave you all with two verses to think about, two Bible verses, scriptural verses to think about, to compare and contrast the two. And so, when it comes to judgment, I'll read James 4:11-12. Brothers and sisters, do not slander one another. Anyone who speaks against a brother or sister or judges them speaks against the law and judges it. When you judge the law, you are not keeping it, but sitting in judgment on it. There is only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and destroy. But you, who are you to judge your neighbor?
And Matthew 18:16 on accountability and community says if your brother sins against you, go and confront him privately. If he listens to you, you have won your brother over. But if he will not listen, take one or two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of two or three witnesses. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, regard him as you would a pagan or a tax collector.
So the pagan part, that was a little, we'll say that's a little testy. You
Yeah.
know, that's a derogatory term. But
Yeah.
what?
Just accountability. Like
Yeah.
if someone wrongs you, if they do something wrong, then yes, like how we would say now, check them. You know,
Right.
go up to them, talk to them, because many times, even when people say stuff that's like left field or do something, it could be one that they don't know. 2, there's other stuff going on, or 3, it was just misspoken, misinterpreted, whatever it may be. So it's more like, don't be so fast to shun someone, but instead bring them in, talk to them instead of like talk to them personally. Go to them, be active in that accountability. Be active in that community. Don't just sit back and just let it be. Just be active and be direct.
Right. And even in terms of the last part, the last verse where it says, and if he refuses to even listen to the church, regard him as you would a pagan or a tax collector.
Yeah.
I think what I get from it is when someone acts repeatedly out of character and out of community, it is okay for them to no longer be in your community.
Yeah.
You don't have to treat everyone as intimately as you would your family or your close friends.
Right.
However, as a spiritually aware person, as a Christian, as an ethical person, whatever, you treat all people as people.
Right.
You treat them, you treat them as your neighbors, even if they're not in your spiritual community or in your family. And so I think it just drives home the message that you talk to someone, you bring them to the community.
Yeah.
You bring them to the institution. And if that still doesn't work, then you just can't be as close as you were at one point.
That's it. And I think you said that right, where they don't have to be part of your immediate community, but we will still respect them as a person and still value their humanity. And I think that's the most important. As long as we keep valuing each other's humanity, then we're doing good.
Yeah.
To keep the conversation going, tell us what you think by following us on Instagram or Twitter at Real Talk on God Talk.
Hey, beautiful people. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, and you're listening to Keeping Time with Yaya. Ramadan season is rapidly approaching for our Muslim family. This year's Ramadan falls on May 5th to June 4th. Ramadan is a celebration period which includes intense fasting and prayer. It's also a time for the Muslim community to draw nearer to Allah, or God, through spiritual and physical detoxification. It's a time to be reminded of the suffering of the less fortunate. So, Ramadan Mubarak to all of my Muslim brothers, sisters, and friends out there. It's time for the moon reading. As we anticipate May 4th's new moon, consider that spiritual act of fasting and the ways that it's been used across religious traditions in Islam, Christianity, and African traditional religions to clarify the body and bring us in closer connection to the divine. You should only partake in dietary restrictions in accordance with your health and medical needs. However, fasting in the time surrounding May 4th's new moon may be a good thing. Even if it's only for a set number of hours per day, maybe between when you go to sleep the previous night and 2 p.m. the following day, or even fasting for a full day or days if you've got the stamina, could be a good opportunity for a spiritual and physical reset. It's a chance to detox your body and your soul, and if you do it around the days of the new and full moons, the effects may be amplified as well. Okay, so for community pastoral care, we have a listener who hit us up and basically, long story short, is like she goes to work every day. She's working her little 9 to 5.
Right.
We got a fellow brokey listener, and she's like, she has limited funds, but when people are asking for help when she's on her commute, she always feels like her heartstrings being tugged. She feels like, oh my goodness, I need to help these people. I should give my money. But the other side of her brain and heart is saying, but I don't even have it.
Right.
And so I can't be giving you my dollars.
Right.
And so she turned to us, Real Talk on God Talk, and you all, the Real Talk on God Talk community, to ask, is she ethically and morally obligated to give? Like, when we see panhandlers, what do we do?
Right.
You know, we're quote unquote good people.
Yeah, I turn the other way.
Right.
Across the street.
Yeah. Y'all avoid.
Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
But and so before we actually give our answer, I just want to say this listener actually did not really ask us a religious question.
Yeah, no.
And so we're not going to so much tell you what the Bible or what the Torah or, what the Quran says about it. All of the good books are rife with, do good, help your neighbor, that type of thing. So you all can go and look for that yourself. What we're going to give is our experience, what we do ethically, what's one way to approach what, you live in New York City or any other major city, you're going to come across panhandlers.
Oh, absolutely.
And how do you deal with it? And so, Truth, how do you deal with it? She gave me that look like, girl, you already know.
So I think there's two. So the way I deal with it is I usually don't like giving out money, right? For if people ask me. So in my own neighborhood, I know the people who have an addiction, right? And I ethically and morally feel that I cannot give money to someone who has an addiction for them to go and feed that addiction. And so I'd rather feed them food than to have on my conscience that they got high off of my dollar or like they went in further into their addiction.
Crack is whack.
Yeah, crack is cheap.
Right.
Like it is for me. I can't do it. And I refuse to. Like, that's just one thing I don't do. I don't give money, especially if I know someone has an addiction. It's just, I will give food all out all day, every day, but I will not give that dollar. And that's my ethics. That's that's my own moral compass. So, and usually when at least in my experience, when I've been approached, they're asking for food or coffee or anything like that. So I'll usually go into like the nearest shop and I'll ask them like what they want, like what do they want to eat and what do they want to drink, and I'll buy for them and bring it to them. But that's just me. There's other times where I'll do little packages of like a sandwich and
nice.
a drink and a fruit, and then I'll go around and it's, like, I feel weird talking about it because like it's just stuff that I do like for me, and I'll go around, and if I see people who are homeless and like they're hungry, I'll ask them if they want something to eat, and then I give them those bags. And so I just don't like giving out the money.
Right. And so it's like, I'm not gonna give you the dollar.
Yeah.
I either most likely don't have it, or if I have it, I don't feel comfortable knowing that a dollar's going out of my pockets into some drug dealer's pockets.
Yeah.
Like, and so, okay, I feel you. I hear you on that. Me personally, I think I look at it a little different. I'm one of those people, like the listener, where it's like my heartstrings really do be getting tugged on the train. Like when I'm on the train with my husband, catch me on a good day. Everybody getting money. And I personally feel like once it leaves my pockets, it's not my responsibility anymore. It's on you. All I know is that you asked for help and I provided the help that I thought I could. To answer the listener's question, I guess tangibly, an approach that I try to use is you can't give money to every single person. You're broke yourself. That would not be fiscally responsible.
You're going to be asking with them.
Right. You're going to be asking right next to them next. And so an approach that I've been using lately is if I know I can't give money or I don't have money on me, I try to at least give my attention, like my full attention, and a little blessing.
Okay.
And so, like, that's not money. Like, this is the real world. People need money. However, it's like if I just straight up don't have it and we're on the train and somebody says, I'm on the train, I'm sorry, I want your attention today. So many people roll their eyes and look the other way and either go from just being apathetic to being like straight up disrespectful. And it just sickens me. Like that.
Because it's not necessary.
Right.
It's not necessary at all.
This person's already humbling themselves so much to ask a train full of strangers for anything. For you to then disrespect them is like, come on, you kicking somebody while they're down. And so I've really been trying to intentionally, when someone asks, even if I can't give, I will look at them. I will, say good evening. I will try to at least be like, I'm sorry. I don't have. I'll acknowledge in a way that I feel like at least if I can't pay them some money, I can pay them some respect.
Some attention.
Some attention, something.
I mean, I think I've even heard like on a train, they'll be like, even a smile helps. And if that's all I got that day, you're going to get the biggest Kool-Aid smile ever, bro.
about to give my landlord a smile next. Like, I really don't have it. And so to answer the listener's question, at least from my perspective, it's I don't think that you are morally or ethically obligated to give someone that's panhandling your cash. However, if you want to and you can, great, you should. If you have it and you don't give it despite feeling like you want to, that's something you need to interrogate for yourself. Both why you want to, like what are you getting from giving them something, and why you would have it and not give them. And so,
and on the flip side to that, also interrogate if you feel you always have to give.
Right.
Because that's something you got to interrogate as well. Like, you know, you can't carry the whole world on your shoulders. You can't hand out $1 to everybody, right? If you barely got it.
Right.
So, but I think the main thing is don't feel bad if you can't that day. You know, it's okay. If you can't that week or that month, don't feel bad. It's okay. And like you said, I like that where like you give a smile, you give a blessing, that it doesn't cost you nothing. Right? You know, like there's all these other things that we can give to people to just acknowledge their humanity, especially I think to people who are homeless, that their humanity isn't seen. But at least if you're like looking at them, acknowledging them, smiling at them, I think that's something, and that's better than nothing. And I think outside of the holidays where people do remember that we do have homeless people, you know, there's other stuff that we can do. And so it's like you don't need to feel guilty if in that moment you just don't got it.
Right. And, you know, to kind of jump on that train of thought, it's like if you consistently are feeling the urge to give individual dollars to people that you see in need, then now might be the time to like take real action. Like there are organizations that you can give your time to if money's not a thing. Like if you feel your heartstrings tugging, but you're like, yo, I'm not about to give my $1 to this person who I know is about to use it for something I'm not with.
Go to soup
then
kitchen.
Go to the soup kitchen, you know, donate your clothes.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many ways to give that it's an excuse to say I'm broke, I ain't got it. Cash is not the only way.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Cash isn't the only way. There's even like programs where you can help people with resumes and, you know, people who are trying to get a foot, you know, all sorts of things we could do. So yeah, absolutely right. To say that just because you ain't got your $1, you can't do nothing, that's just it's an excuse.
You're empowered.
Yeah,
you can do it, listener.
You can do a lot. You can do a lot.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, listener, for that great question. And this is it, Yayas. Wrapping up our final episode of season 1.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Thank you, Real Talk on God Talk fam, for joining us for season 1. Stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram at Real Talk on God Talk. Find us on Facebook, Real Talk on God Talk. And follow us on Twitter, Real Talk on God T, the number 1. So you can stay up to date with all the stuff that we will have planned for season 2. We're going to put up some questions. Let us know what you want to hear for season 2. Send us your ideas, your thoughts, questions. Send all of that to us because we got some stuff cooking up and we want more and more ideas.
Yes. And we're going to stay engaged on this little hiatus that we're taking.
Yeah, so you won't completely miss us.
Yeah, not at all. If you want a follow back, now is the time. School is done. We are ready to engage with our Real Talk and God Talk family for real.
Yeah.
So we're following. We're commenting. We're going to be all up on your page, liking all your pictures. So get ready.
Commenting on everything.
Yeah. We're going to have a day when I take over where Yaya, that's me. Hi. Hello. Nice to meet you. Where I take over the Twitter account. There's going to be a day when Truth takes over the Twitter account. We're on it.
Yeah, and if y'all already on Twitter, y'all seen I've been leaving some of my little thoughts out there. Thank you to y'all who have been responding. I really feel appreciated. And that's why y'all needs to take over because
I've been scared of Twitter, y'all. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm coming. Don't worry. And I got mad opinions. I got a lot of opinions.
So thank you everyone for joining us on episode 13, wrap up of season 1. Yeah. Make sure you go back, listen to our entire season. If you missed any episode, hit us up in our comments, share it with a friend, download it on iTunes.
Review.
5 stars, baby.
Yeah.
And we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you all. See you soon. Love you. I don't believe believe in God. I know God.
I love me some Jesus.
You're doing too much.
That's crazy. That's on the next episode.
It's the moon reading.
I rock with you, Yaya.
It's all love.
They better listen to this advice. We good.
You crazy girl.
This is what this show is about, all right? We
With
keep
the
it real.
real and real talk, the God in God talk.
And that's a wrap.